back to another tutorial with the Paintology drawing app from Google Play Store for Android users. So this is the app. As you can see, I made a quick drawing of the fawn. Okay, so I'm going to go to the home page. This is the home screen. So there's quite a lot going on under the hood of Paintology. So I wouldn't just go and dive into drawing and start doodling because you're not going to learn much from that. Basically, the app is there to teach you to become highly skilled in drawing. And the kind of drawings that I do here, you see I did that in a trace mode, yeah. So you can see many examples. This one was done also Kandinsky yesterday. Kandinsky painting. If you don't know him, he's a world-renowned abstract artist in the turn of the last century. Kandinsky, a Russian artist, and then in a previous one I did this drawing, which I showed you the power of the trace mode. So it's all about learning art skill. I mean, you couldn't possibly think that this was done digitally, right? That's only because most people who draw expect the tools to make their drawing, but they forget about the art techniques. I mean, compare that to some of the YouTubers who you see do acrylic painting or charcoal, and they can do a fantastic drawing, but they have the same tools as you do. And you might ask, why is that? Majority will dismiss it as a born talent, which majority do, sadly. And another group will say they don't have it, what it takes to do it. Maybe that's the case, but if you have a desire to do it, you can do it. So that's another excuse. And then another excuse would be not an excuse, but a lack of understanding is that you're not open to learning and you don't want to learn. You want the easy way to everything. And that's sadly also what's happening in the world. Everything wants instant Everyone's looking for instant gratification. But the real skills come from passionate desire. And then I've written a lot on that subject of acquiring skills. You can find it in paintology.com blog. Okay, so let's look at some of the resources we have. I'm going to show you some resources that you need to look at before I dive into the actual drawing. So I'm going to go to the Google Play Store and then Paintology, there it is, yeah. So go to paintology.com. That's definitely a website that you need to bookmark. And then on the home page, you'll see a pink button, daily step-by-step video tutorials. Go to that. And then you'll see then you'll see all these listings of the daily streams I've been doing. They're divided into two channels. The first one is Produce channel, and the second one is the Paintology channel. And you can go directly to these streams and check out all the streams on these channels. The links here for Paintology streams or Produce streams. And right now you can see it's the 10th of October, and I will be doing this stream on Produce 9 GMT, and then I'm using this as a reference image. Okay, so you see this reference image. So that's actually one of the drawings that we're going to do, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So let's download the image. Okay, and then that's the drawing we're going to do, and then you're free to go through over 100 of these completed drawing tutorials that I've done. This is one I do, and I typically draw on the phone, yeah. This is my Samsung Note 10 phone, and then let me see if I can find what you're looking for. So no, I wasn't really prepared for this, so I had to rush off for some errand. So anyway, but basically this is the phone. Just look at my other videos and you'll see that we don't want anyone to disturb us, do we? So this is the typically the phone that I use, is the Samsung Note 10, and you're free to use any of your phone. Any Android phone will do. I've drawn on 5-inch screen phone. Trust me, just as fun. And the reason why you can use a phone and make detailed drawing is because of this wonderful feature. So I'm gonna this. See that beautiful zoom function and rotate. That allows you to make really detailed drawings on a small screen. It's almost like drawing on an A4, just like with a pencil and paper. So that brings me to the question is, why is my drawing like this? Well, I don't make use of the drawing tools. I develop my skills from traditional drawing and painting, and you should do the same with digital as well. If you want to go via the path of tools, as the only things that's pushing you forward, you can do. You'll end up doing a very limited set of paintings, which is constrained to what is termed digital art. Basically, digital art can be distinguished from any other traditional art because of the way people make extensive use of the digital tools. But in my case, you cannot. But this is still digital art. Okay, so I'm really paving the way for you to learn drawing and painting like the real way, like it should be, so you have more pleasure out of the same pleasure you would be doing in with traditional pencil and paper. So no technical skills required. But the fact is that many draw like with digital tools implies there's a lot of technical mastery and it's complex, and many people shy away from it, which is totally, which is sad as well, because you'll see that this drawing I did here was 2 brushes, and I don't go into blending tools, line tools, or all the tools except for this wonderful moon, which I use this single tap button here, you see here. So okay, so now we've got this out of the way. I encourage you to look at all the links in the description. They're not there just for random sake. They're actually there to help you become a good artist. If you want to become a good artist in the real way, if you want to be taught with free of charge, you don't have to attend an academic course. You can do this. This teaches you all the fundamental skills of art. So, keep at this, and trust me, your skills will go beyond digital, and you can apply it in paint mixing, tones, values, which are essential to all art creativity, is something you'll learn here as well. So let's get a draw. So before I do that, you need to really, as a beginner, please go through all this. Don't just dive into draw and make a comparison of the tools, find your favorite tools and all that. That means you're just tool dependent. And to give you an analogy, if you want to hire a carpenter, would you base it on a visitor's workshop and say, he's got this saw, he's got this, got that, he's got that, so I think he's pretty good, so I'm going to hire him? Of course not. That's ridiculous. You'd hire him because of his work, what he's produced, right? Same thing here. You need to judge the app on what it's capable of doing and what it is trying to show you, okay? So that's the one I wanted to give you. Draw, trace image, and then this wonderful image of the, okay? So the first thing is we look at this closely, right? So we got single tap here. We don't want that, do we? Get rid of that. Okay, first thing is we want to block color this area. You know, this beautiful swath of colors happening all over. How are we going to actually do all that? We can go macroscopically and select a brush. You know, for example, I could do this, right? I could go here and then pick that color tone, and then I could go down and then I can say, you know what, I'm just doing this, copying this. And you can. It will then become photorealistic, you know? You could do that, right? Pick another color and then say, you know what, and do that. You know what, do that. But we're not going to do that. Okay, and then you can keep going all the way. This is your drawing canvas. This is the reference image. So on the far right is the reference image. On the far left is yours. And why would we have this midpoint? The midpoint is there because once you cross the midpoint, you are referring to the reference image, and the reference image is where you can pick out all these lovely colors. Yeah. So I'll show you what I mean. There, one color there. There's another color there. Wherever your lands, you're gonna pick that color. Okay. Color there. See, these are the different colors you have picked. Okay. So that's essentially the reference image. Okay. So now that's handy. And then when you're here on this bottom half, you don't select any of the reference colors. You're now selecting the colors of your own drawing. And this is white, that's white, so nothing's going to happen. But if you land on this, yep, you got that color. Got it? So that's all it is. Very easy. So the first thing I normally do is I follow a very traditional like pattern of the drawing process, and that's what you're going to learn. You know, you've seen all these wonderful artists on YouTube producing a magical piece of art, starting with acrylic blank canvas, and then the way they go. And somewhere down the line, you get totally mesmerized, and you wonder, and you're thinking, how the heck do they do all that? So they're not able to explain that process in a way that is interesting and comfortable to you. But fortunately, I brought that into the Paintology app, and this is something you and I or anyone else can do. And block coloring does not require drawing experience, and I'll show you how. So, which means anyone can do block coloring. So the first thing I do is I select a very broad brush, and this is what, let's say, an acrylic artist would do when they want to create a realistic drawing. They would first lay down the broad set of colors. Yeah, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it down to 20, and then I use the color picker, and the cursor is in the just above the halfway line. Yeah, see what I'm doing? I'm basically laying down these colors. Okay, remember not to avoid where the lines are, the line drawing, otherwise you'll pick that white color. Look what I'm doing. That's a too big a brush, but I don't want to do the trees just yet. I'm going to work my way around getting these wonderful colors of the whole atmosphere, the whole scene. Right? That's all I'm going to do, and then I'm going to be, and then I'm going to lay down my thing. You must have seen that in traditional art. You must have seen that when people paint, they have a large swath of colors, and then they are ready to work on that. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We're just picking these colors that we know to be on this image and just laying them down. I'm not worried about the trees or any of the details yet. And I might have picked a black darker color, so try again, right? So again, look at that. So here, remember to avoid the letters. I forgot to download the proper image. I just downloaded that. I don't know why. So here, and pick that color. See, I went in between the letters, and then I'm gonna write, and then here, here. Just make sure you avoid the letters. I didn't have time to go and pick the right image. Okay. Notice this. You can see that the image, there is a reference image, but my drawing will be different. It's under entirely my control. Okay. So I'm actually using a sticks brush, but any brush will do, right? So don't be too crazy about the brushes, because that's how the most of the digital apps try and grab you, because they know that you think the brush should do all the work. It's absolutely not the case. The techniques. I made drawings with all kinds of brushes. I don't have a preference for any. Just that I decide to use one whenever I feel like it. They all have a different type of effect, yeah. And I don't look out for the brush to be the ultimate dictator of what I do. Yeah, I can use any brush for. If I were to do a tiger, I can pick any of the brushes. It will add a different kind of effect, you know. So this is what I'm doing. Let's see if this is too big, you can see here. Okay, let's see what we've got here. This is what we've got here so far, okay? Alright. This is our image, this is the reference image. This is our image, this reference. So now I'm going to just go over and notice what happens when I pick the color picker here. It's way too big, so now I can really go down. But before I do that, I want to cover the large swath of areas like that I haven't covered, so I don't waste my time with the smaller brush, because to me time is very valuable. I don't know about you, but I like to feel that I'm using my time wisely. So I'm very fast in things I do as well. I don't beat around the bush or anything, you know. I'm really fast in doing things, and hence the reason why I've got a lot of innate skills and the ability to pick up skills really quickly as well. I have that ability, yeah. So hopefully you can also just freely do this. You don't have to do the detail. Look how I'm doing it. Select the same brush, covering the large ground. Right here, the trees, covering that large. This color here. See the background? You can imagine that I'm just doing the background color. Right, laying down these lovely colors that are shimmering through these trees. So by the way, this is an art piece I found, a drawing, an image I found, and I sort of touched it up with GIMP, you know. But you know, I actually used GIMP over Photoshop, and I use those tools for completely different. And I've been an advanced user of Photoshop for many years. It's quite a beast to learn. But anyway, drawing for me is a pleasurable experience. I've never contemplated drawing in the with Photoshop, you know. Drawing should be this. Exactly what I'm doing here. Just like traditional fun, you know. Let's see what we have. Wow, we've covered a lot of areas. Some greens there as well. Wonderful, isn't it? So let's get that. I think we've got bulk of the colors down, isn't it? Okay, now we can probably shoot for those little nooky areas like that, like this area here. Look, it's way too big, so I'm gonna take that down. As a rule of thumb, always take it by half if you're not sure. Take it down by half of what it was. Just as a rule of thumb, yeah? So we were at 20%, we're now at 10. Okay, I'm doing these smaller. And now I'm going to go for that wonderful dark color of the branch. Look at that, it's beautiful colors wherever you see it. This actually develops a very important thing that you may not know. It's called tones and values. It really does allow you to focus on how the tones for this. Let me keep selecting the color picker for this tree. We have this lovely tree overlooking the stream. And let me show you the color palette. Because there's a color palette. You'll notice that there's a color palette that goes, so I don't want to catch that G. So, and then I'll show you the color palette of how many tones that are picked up. Just see that? That's such a different color. Right, still, and it's smaller. The brush we have is a little tad smaller, so we go to 7%, let's say. And see that? There. I'll just take that up there, why not? And let's look at that color palette. Okay, look. Look at all these colors. You'd think they were brown, right? But they're not really. That's the illusion of the eye. It gives the impression it's brown, yeah? And these are all the tones we picked from color picker. Look, gives the illusion it's brown, but it's not. I almost see brown here and brown there, and it's just not the case, yeah? So this is what we have so far, right? We've got that lovely tree lines here. Yeah, so we can probably stick with the 10% and just carry on completing the whole image. You see there's lots of white left here, here, yeah, here, all this white left here. So we need to fill that up, yeah? So I'm going to do something which you don't have to do. I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to go back home and pick it up again, because the reason is I'm using a prototype. This is very similar to the one you're using. But with the prototype, we put a lot of coding in there to check the performance, because we bring about an app practically every month or two, yeah? So let's go to my paintings, draw, open it up again. So you don't have to finish one drawing in one go, of course. Okay, and then now we're going to go in there and try and finish. Let's see if the 10% works. That's a good brush size, so not quite the one, and then, pick that. Right, now we've got closer to the details, and we've got still pretty big brush, but I'm not too worried about that, okay? I'm just laying down the underlying colors with this. Okay, the white area I was telling you that I couldn't capture. Now I have the ability to pick these specific colors that are shimmering through this lovely winter scene, yeah? You can tell that I'm very fond of landscapes, and it's one of the most wonderful experiences of me doing landscapes. I love it. And so I'm picking up these colors. Well, Pick the right color. Don't get, if you feel it's too dark or too light, pick color again. Then you'll probably have landed on the proper color, yeah, that you want to put. For example, this one would be a simple that color, but then when you go here, it'll be, and then there, it's more yellow. So just cover the yellow. I'm not worried about the branches, okay? So this is again covering the yellow, okay? So when we zoom out, we'll have covered some of this colors, all right? Just pick the colors that you think should match this area. Again, you can see lovely, luscious colors. I actually did that because what I did was actually use the magenta. You know these colored tools that you get with these digital applications like GIMP. You know, so many of these tools that you can manipulate your image. Yeah, there. That's a pink color. So that pink, and if it works, then we'll see what it comes out as. Maybe we'll create something interesting. Yeah, we don't know. All right. Let's see how far we've got. We're getting there, isn't it? We covered most of the white, so we can carry on and seeing if we've got most of that here. Then here, see that? There. And then here. And then I just did the main branch just to give you the example, yeah? And then this white here. And then this is some beautiful bluish. You know, you have to love colors if you want to paint. You know, you have to love the colors that nature is abundance of, isn't it? See that? Is that white, yellow? No, it's not. So I'm going to go back because we want to stay true. We don't want to depart too far away. And then this area, this is all white. So I'm just using this brush to my advantage. And then I'm not too worried about at all about this is the color I want to get for all of this area here. It's like a range of brushed colors coming through here and then here. So this is an approach, and artist develops an approach to any kind of painting. If they're going to draw something, they're going to use, of course, their skills, but also their approach will be similar to what they've done before, right? And the more artistic art skills they have, the more they can be a bit more creative, you know? Right, we can see that. See, that's the color. And let's see, all the colors here, look. Let's have a look. Yeah. So we can always go back to our canvas and say, no, we haven't got all the colors. It's yellow. Okay, so look. It's pretty good, isn't it? So I'm not too bothered. This is called a drawing process. I'm not too bothered if I've got to the right. This is where most beginners make really significant mistakes. They think that, oh, it's nowhere near what I wanted at the first pass. Nobody makes a drawing at the first pass. I guarantee you, go to any YouTube and watch their drawings and come back to me and ask me whether they finish a drawing instantly or they build it up slowly. Guarantee they're going to do this, build it up slowly until it gets better and better and better and better, and then by the time you're blinking or something, they've got it to a stage where you just like mesmerized. I cannot believe. So this is a part of a drawing process. If you want to take this path, you need to be patient and just keep doing what I'm doing. So I hope you're following along with me. It's good that we missed this area here. I feel I missed a bit around there, and then of course missed a bit around here, which is basically that. So I'm avoiding the W. Right, so here, missed areas here. So that's the right area. That's the right color. And there's a lovely, lovely color here. And there's that lighter color. All these colors brings beauty to the whole painting. Okay, and then you can see I'm heading towards more areas that needs to be covered, right? Just making sure that I've got most of the colors down, yeah? Look at that there, this color there. I got that name. I haven't quite got this color, so what are we going to do here? Let's put a bit of the white, sprinkle it with the white, and then sprinkle it with the blue wherever you see the branches. Why not? We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what it's going to look like once it's finished, because that's the whole idea of creativity. You're creating something from me. Okay, have we got a lot of the, well, we haven't done this area as well, so we got a little bit there, and then another color here. Okay, and then another color. Remember, I'm avoiding the branches. All right, just doing the colors. And then another, look at that. You haven't, you think you've done everything, but you haven't. So here, don't go over, try avoid going over the ones, that area that you already did. Right there. So I'm following this tree line, and you can see that I'm finding areas that I haven't touched. Right, like here at the top here. So again, I can show you that it's a lovely green here. Lovely hue, isn't it? Color. This is maybe a bit too dark, so I'm going to change it down a little bit. Okay, have we done anything on that top? Yep, a bit there, but we missed a bit area here. Okay, these wonderful colors. And then some green. Right there. I can go here and say, look at these colors. Oh, look at that. The colors actually different to what we picked before. Look at that. It's more. Right, so we can correct it with this smaller brush. Right. So I think you should know if you're already familiar with this channel, that I spread this work into two parts. So I've got this so far. You can see I've covered most of the areas. You may think I may have not touched this area, so let's have a look. It's actually one of the most central focus, and I have covered it, but I need to add a little bit of that. And then you'll see it looks like but that's where this eye is focused on, yeah? So, as you know, as I was saying, you may think I'm seeing an area here. These are like pastel colors. Look at that, isn't it? Pastels. And then go cover, open that, cover that. And then here, look at that, cover that area. Okay, so you may think So, well, as I was saying, let me finish my train of thought. So, I usually spread this around to two classes. One in this class, and the one in this one, and the other one of class this stream, which is Firdous, and the next one is the Paintology. You'll see the links in the description of the stream. If not, please go back to that homepage I showed you, the Paintology page, where you can go directly to the stream, because I copy the stream link automatically when I create the upcoming live tutorials, and then I add it on there, so you'll be able to get access. So this next tutorial will appear like 10 GMT, okay? So keep that in mind, but I usually have a 10-15 minutes break, so to get ready for the next one. So I'm sure you like these short breaks to get your head around. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to do what this. I can still do a bit more. I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to open it up again. Remember, I have to do this, but you don't have to do that. So I'm going to open it up again. And I'm looking at my drawing, and then also I can flick between my drawing and then the traced image. See that? My drawing, traced image, my drawing, traced image. And I can see right away that I can improve on these lovely branches. So let me find a good brush size, 5% let's say, or even 4, near 4. Oh, that's way too small. Okay, let's get 4.5%. There. See how that's deceiving? It looks brown, but in reality, actually a different color altogether. Isn't it amazing? This is how the eyes can fool you. So I'm going I'm doing something very interesting, which is shaping this wonderful tree, these tree lines, these very prominent trees that are now. Notice I still have the sticks 100%. I'm not even touching these, and these open up the drawing to another new level. Okay, you can see the reference in it with the big L bouncing out there. So I'm just shaping this with this small brush, having a really good time getting these colors. So when we do this at this zoomed level, you can really get details down like you've never thought before, okay? So I'm still using that. Don't have to always keep selecting the color picker. If you feel that the same brush will work, then by all means. Right, really quickly. Well, see where it beautifully branches off here. And it's broken down by the shimmering lights here. And then you'll see that this tree will take on a whole new shape. Exactly what we want, yeah? And we're still collecting the sunlight. Look at that. Look at that. The bright light is shining off those branches. This is a very bright light. So I'm just taking that. So this is what digital opens up a whole new way of painting, gives you much more level of power with trace mode. You can see how I'm making it, and the brush is now becoming too big for these branches. Okay, so we can change that later on, but for now I'm just taking advantage of the size I have. Okay. Let's go down there. Okay. And then let's get the other one on the other side. Wonderful. So let's correct this one. Yeah, let's see what it looks like first. You see how it's getting detail there, and I'm not too worried about anything. You're thinking, oh God, it's not working. You know, this is all total nonsense. This is how art is created. The artists that are good do not stop. They don't get flustered. They don't get frustrated. They have the ammunition and skills to keep going to the very end. And I have, and I can tell you, I can turn this into this photorealistic drawing on this phone if I so wished. Okay? But this is to teach you the basic mechanisms of learning these fundamental art skill. Okay, so let's carry on with the right side now. Let's put in some details here, okay? This is our drawing. We go halfway. House, just pick the colors. See, so this is a blue, okay? So I'm going to take that blue up there. Remember this, don't let these text stop you from finding the actual colors happening, the real colors that's going on the background. Yeah, so it's good to keep that there. See that there? There is a lovely tree there at the back. So we're gonna keep going, and this is opportunity for us to go over the areas that we missed with a bigger brush, yeah? So we can refine this tree more, yeah, as we go along. And pick the color, pick the areas that you haven't done, and it will pick the right colors, like that blue here. It will pick the right colors, and then you're sort of close to the realism. You're not departing too far out. Okay, if that's big, then just go over it again. This is really odd, isn't it? How we thought it was blue. It turns out it was, no, I mean it was brown, these branches. But it turns out it's like a deep purple, but still our eyes wanted to make this look brown. Because we're probably so used to looking at trees. This is a very interesting effect that I've come across. Maybe I'm going to talk about it in more detail in another tutorial, right? So let's get these colors, right? Make up all the way up, okay? Okay. Oh, such a wonderful way to paint. It's so easy. It's not difficult at all. I'm not worried about these branches just yet. The very tiny branches you see there. Alright, so here, got these wonderful blue, and then you can have these little, add some texture to that, you know. How far does this go up? It goes up quite a lot, doesn't it? But that then it gets a bit too thin, so we're gonna try and shape it by doing the external environment. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see what's cooking here, shall we? That's not bad at all. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And I believe I'm on my way to make a really fine painting on the. See that one? We got some of that blue. Let's pick that blue and take that down. Let's pick that blue and take that up so we don't avoid that white color right there. Now we're going to have fun in the next tutorial, okay? So this is the first stage of our drawing, and we're building it up slowly, bit at a time, one bit at a time. That's where most beginners get frustrated. We've reached this point, so here is what true happens in reality. We've reached this point. Let's say there's 1,000 of you that you're a beginning artist, right? Let's say there's 100 of you in the beginning artist. We've reached this point. I can guarantee probably 30 of you will remain, and the others will go, yeah, nay, no, I can't do it. Too skillful, or nah, it's not for me, or something, right? So 30 of you will remain, and the next one, no, let's say it's 1,000, right? So 300 will remain, and 700 will just wave their arms up in there and say, I can't do it, without even trying. And that's what majority, 700 of them. And then let's say we go to the next tutorial. This is truth, and I'm trying to tell you the truth because I've been in this business a while. Now 300 of you will be remaining and saying, wow, I can do this. This really gives me confidence and boost. And out of that, I can tell you halfway, 150 will drop off because they're not open to the possibility of doing it themselves. They just feel that it's too much, it's hard work, and it's not for me, and I don't have the skill. So they're going to make an excuse. And then by the time I am, and I guarantee by the time I'm finished, there will be a few of you staunch people who will remain, and that will probably be about 6 to 10. And I will show you that figure at the end, okay? If you don't believe me, I will show you that figure at the end. Right now, I don't know how many of you are signed up, but I'm just giving you an example. I'm going to show you how many few people remain all the way to the end. And those are the ones who are really going to make it, in my opinion, because they've stayed the course, stayed the path, and they will continue to work their way, understand, and learn. All right, so I hope you like this, and I'll see you shortly in 10 minutes on the other channel. Remember, the link is available on the Google description of the stream or from the Paintology.com page that I showed you. So please do join me in 10 minutes. And from here, thank you, and please subscribe, and we'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.